Hi there, Tom.
Welcome. I'm so glad you could come.
I'm so glad to be here.
Come on inside and see what we've got here. My very first piece was actually inspired by in an exhibition I saw in Venice that was actually black cork with bits of color burst in, and the artist apparently was inspired by transistors. So I came home and I tried it, and it's very closed and black, but it was a lot of fun and it got me started. Then I began to open up, and as you can see from this next piece, I'm still using the dowels, but now there are many colors that I've started putting in the rocks and stick, and I really liked that, and then I just went crazy. Some of my more recent work, and I think this is perhaps the most interesting evolution of a piece. I was doing some soldering for another piece, and I put the piece of tile that I was working on aside, and I was working with some white sticks, and I stuck those on the tile just randomly, and some other things, and then I looked at it and said, oh, that's interesting. Well, it turns out that this piece now has bits of flux, which you can see in the red, a little bit of solder, the white things, and I added more and more pieces. It was very dusty, so I affixed the dust with a sealant, and this is what evolved out of it, which was lots of fun. And most of my pieces are a matter of evolution. For doing this kind of work, you have to pick up lots and lots of stuff wherever you go, from railroad spikes to feathers to pieces of glass and all kinds of things. And then it sits in the studio sometimes for 20 years, but then you find a use for it. Here's a piece that I'm just playing with now. I don't know what's going to happen. The board was out in the garage. It's left over from a piece of furniture or something, shelving. The glass I just came to. These pieces of leaf I've had for 15 or 20 years. Someone gave them to me. And so right now my idea is that I might do two pieces here with the leaves showing through two different pieces of glass. I'm not sure about affixing the stone to the glass. I may put some of this under. I don't know where it's going, but that's the process. Just sit and look and play and say, oh no, maybe I want a different stone here, and pour out a whole bunch of stones on the table and see what looks good. Well, a lot of my work just comes together as I take fragments here and there and look at them and see what looks good. Some of my pieces are, in fact, very political and quite planned out. This is perhaps the best example, but I'm not going to tell you about it. If you want to find out, you'll have to come and see it. So, you had a chance to look at the studio and some of my work and all the piles of stuff it takes to begin to put things like this together. As you can see, the studio is a nice open space with plenty of airflow, so it's fine for coming out for COVID-19, and I hope to see as many of you as possible because I want to share the work that I do. It would be good to see you.